going on, y'all? It's Josh and Kelsey. We are back with another video. Alright, y'all, today we're in Franklin, Tennessee at the Old City Cemetery in the old Pottersfield section. And y'all, this is sad. It really is sad. There's so many headstones that are gone. They've sunken into the ground. A lot have sunken into the ground. I might be standing on remains right now. You don't know because it's all flat. But yeah, and they also had a lot of headstones that are just destroyed by vandals or just deterioration over time. So we want to speak to those today and see if anybody wants to talk to us in this old Potter's Field. Kelsey, you want to tell them just a little info on this area?
Yes, so there has been land surveying and ground radar that's been done that has confirmed that this whole section is supposed to be full. But as Josh had mentioned, just over time, the headstones and markers just have sunken into the ground or have deteriorated. There are maps confirming from around the 1920s, even the 1950s, that this section was full. There have been 2 floods that have happened in the area, so they don't know if that possibly contributed to some of the missing headstones or just from lack of keeping up with things just over the years.
Yeah. So I'll show you a little bit before we get started. I'll just show you just kind of where we're at. Some of the old headstones that are left, which aren't part of the Potter's Field. But I'll show you where all these places were, these headstones were, and that they're gone now. So, all right, enjoy the video, and hopefully we get to speak to somebody. All right, y'all. We are at the old cemetery in Franklin, Tennessee. This whole area here, this whole area right around here, you see those headstones in the distance? You see this one here. Then you see 2 right there. Now we're not talking about those in the distance. That's considered a different part of the cemetery. But we're talking about this section here. So from these 2 or 3 headstones, from those 3 headstones right here, this whole direction here, back wall, all the way to that back corner, was all a potter's field. Was folks of African American descent and Caucasian. It was a mix of folks here. They call this the poor section, I guess, is what we've been told. So folks that didn't have a lot of money, or folks that maybe they were homeless, or just various reasons. But we want to talk to these folks today just to remind them that they're not forgotten and they're important and they have a name and they had a life and a story. So that's what we're going to do. Try to get some names, y'all. All right. So we're out here at the old Potter's Field, and we just wanted to see if anyone that's resting where the Potter's Field was, that's now in this back corner with sunken headstones, and if anybody's here and wants to speak to us. So do we have permission to speak to anybody back here? Do we have permission? Anybody want to? Yes, you're able. Okay, good. Can we have a name? What's your name? Lee. Did I hear Lee? Maybe so. Okay. Okay, go ahead and pause it, Kelsey. I heard Lee pretty loud and clear, and then she said maybe it did.
Yes. Is there anyone else who wants to come forward and tell us their name?
With Lee? Any more names? Emmett? All right, Kels. Did you hear Emmy?
I don't know if it was Emmy or Emmett. It was a little hard for me to hear, so I'll have to go back and
Let's
listen.
just ask one more time.
Okay.
Did we hear Emmy or Emmett? I'm Emmett. Did I hear Emmett? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Kels. All right, I did hear I'm Emmett, but it was muffled. Okay, good. Well, good. Well, I'm glad we got a couple names. So we got Lee and we got Emmett.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure there's more, and we might give it just a quick opportunity for anybody else that wants to chime in before we leave. But Emmett, Lee, how are you resting? Did you say real good? Lee, I heard Lee again. All right. Well, go ahead, Kels. Emmett and Lee. That's the names that we're gonna talk to. We heard those first. If any other names come in, we will give you an opportunity to say some things towards the end. But we did hear Lee and Emmett first, so we're gonna speak to them right now. Lee and Emmett, could you give us your ages? Lee, how old are you? We'll start with Lee. How old are you, Lee?
Could you say that again?
$32 or 30? Lee, did you say 32, brother? Yes. Now, Emmett, how old are you, Emmett? Could you repeat that again, Emmett? Did you get 23?
I thought I heard 23.
2, 3.
Yeah.
I heard 2, 3, right, Emmett? Yes. I heard yes, whisper. Okay, cool. Thank you, Emmett. I appreciate you, brother. So, Emmett. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was just pausing it for a moment so Josh could ask his question.
She was on that button, Emmett.
Well, we're curious, where are you located, Emmett, on this backside? Are you toward our car? Are you toward that gray house or toward that wooded area?
Okay, yeah, good. Are you by the vehicle we're in, Emmett and Lee? Front. I am. You're in the front, correct? Are you standing in front of our vehicle right now? By you. Okay. Well, cool, Bubba. Cool. All right. Now that was Emmett. So what about Lee? Where were you resting at? Where were you buried at? Which side of the area, the place here? By the tree. Will you buy one of these trees on the back? I do have my camera next to a tree right there. Are you by where my camera's setting? Are you near my camera, Lee? Okay. Yes. Okay. So you're in this back area. Both of you in the back of the potter's field, correct? Lee and Emmett, were you both buried in the potter's field? Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we know they're buried in the potter's field. This whole area was the potter's field back here.
Yes. I don't know exactly when you had passed because there are several missing markers and headstones back here. But I did want to ask, by your guesstimate, so whatever you think, how many headstones or markers are missing from this area? Just by your best guess, how many do you think are supposed to be here that we're not seeing?
From sinking or vandalism or
Mm-hmm.
any of that deterioration. Some are very old, so yeah.
And I know you may not know the exact answer, but I'm just curious what your guess is.
How many are missing? Is that what you're asking them?
Yeah.
All right. How many headstones are gone? It's a lot, right? Right. Would you say over 50? Yeah. Could you repeat that? 123? Heard many gone. Okay, Kels. All right, Kels.
Well, thank y'all for that insight. I know that was kind of a harder one to answer.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's sad. They'll just disappear, but you get a lot of vandals too that just act like donkeys and want to come out here and act a fool and vandalize for no reason. It makes me mad, but ain't nothing we can do. It is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, all right, Kelsey. You want to ask the next question or you want me to ask it?
I can ask it.
All right, go ahead.
So Emmett and Lee, can you tell us, are you from here? Are you from this local area?
Yeah, maybe Emmett, if you'll tell us first. right, Kels. All right, and Lee. Lee, are you from this local area here, buddy? Is Franklin home? It is. Okay. Okay. Lee and Emmett, I got a question here. We don't mean to be too personable or disrespectful. Hopefully by now you understand we do come in full peace and light and love and respect. Could you tell us, Lee, how you passed away and what year? What year did you pass, Lee? December 9th. What year? 7, 8. 78? How'd you pass, Lee, if you don't mind, brother? All right, Lee. All right. All right. Well, Emmett, same question for you. We'll start with what year did you pass away? So, Emmett, brother, what year did you pass? All right. And how'd you pass away, Emmett? All right. Every time we go to hit it, they say something. All right. Don't forget, we do have to go back and fully listen to your responses, and we will make sure your voice and your name, your age, whatever you tell us, it will not go unheard. It will be out there, so the world will hear it. Well, Kels, You got another question?
I do. So this is we'll do Emmett first. What did you do for a living?
All right, good question. All right, Lee, and for you, brother, what'd you do for a living, Lee? If you don't mind telling us. All right, Kelsey. All right, Kelsey, you want to ask the next question?
Sure. So I know that we had acknowledged that there are several headstones and markers that are missing in this back section, but it seems like the city is trying to do work in the cemetery to preserve it and to kind of restore the things that are broken around here. So are you happy with the efforts that the city's making, or do you feel like more could be done?
More. Thank you both. I just read that. Thank you. All right, Kelsey. All right, all right. And I have a question here. How does it make you feel that all these headstones have been either sunken into the ground or just demolished, just torn up? All right, and I'll go ahead and ask you one last question, um, and then we'll say a prayer before we get out of here. We'll say a prayer of peace, and then we'll cut it back on and see how everybody feels. But my last question is, do you have a message you want to share with the world? There might be a lot of folks that listen to this that get to hear your name one more time, or hear your story, or hear some advice from you, somebody who's lived before, before them or before us. Anything you want to share? All right, Kels. All right. Well, does anybody want us to say a prayer of peace over you before we leave? Emmett, Lee, or anybody that we didn't get to hear your names? Anybody around us need some prayer of peace? Yes, I heard that. Okay. All right, Kels. Sorry again. Every
So
time.
sorry.
They might not say nothing for 5 minutes, but as soon as you hit that off button, they're going to say something. That's how it goes sometimes. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and say a little quick prayer of peace. We're going to cut the camera off, and then we'll cut it back on and see how those that needed prayer feel now after we did that. So we're going to cut the camera. We'll be right back. All right. Well, Kelsey and I said a little prayer of peace over those that asked for it. So we're going to hit the button here. And could you let us know how you feel after we prayed for you? Make it look. Do you feel more peaceful? I heard works. All right, Kelsey. Whoa. All right. Well, thank you for allowing us to speak to everybody, and we just ask that you continue to rest in peace and rest in light.